So it is more of disease of the young than the old. So when we get older, so the appendix obliterates. And also in the pediatric age group, the angle is more obtuse. Kaya mas napupunta sila ng frequent. So misdiagnosis, rate of appendicial rupture, 15.3%, higher among women than men. And negative appendectomy rate for pediatric age group is pegged at 23.2%. So negative appendectomy rate means you'll be operated by appendectomy with other disease in mind or no disease at all. So ibig sabihin, inopera ka, hindi mo pala appendicitis. No? So it will be higher in women. Because in women, you can also have some ovarian diseases and also mesenteric adenitis. So ito lang yung pinaka-importanting dapat malaman nyo with appendicitis. So obstruction of the lumen of the appendix is the main etiology, no? Or pathophysiology. So fecalids are the most common. So nabarahan yung appendiceal lumen. So yung distal hindi obstructed na rin siya. So magkakaroon ng pulling of secretion here and then eventual rupture. So obstruction of the appendiceal lumen, having a closed obstruction distally. So continuing normal secretion by the appendiceal mucosa rapidly produces distension. Stimulate the nerve endings of visceral afferents stretch fibers, vague, dull, diffuse pain, then mid-abdomen or lower epigastrium. So there will be increased distension from the continued mucosal secretion, rapid duplication, the resident bacteria, reflex, nausea, and vomiting, more severe diffuse visceral pain, and then venous capillaries is exceeded. So capillaries are in venules occluded, arterial fluid inflow continues, resulting in engorgement and vascular congestion. So that explains the first stage of acute appendicitis, which is the congestive stage. So inflammatory process involves the serosa, so mahalat na yung infection, so nagiging ano na siya ngayon, suppurative stage. So there will be parietal peritoneum, there will be migratory pain in the right lower quadrant. So impairment of blood supply to the area with the poorest blood supply suffers the most. So ellipsoidal infarcts develop in the anti-mesenteric border, and then thereby perforation just beyond the point of obstruction. A sequence of event is not individual. So ganyan lang, siya simple lang, di ba? So may appendicial lumen, karoon ng obstruction, bawa dito yung obstruction, typically. No? So continued secretion, so tumataas yung intraluminal pressure dito, babarahan yung capillaries and venues, pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin daw yung inflow ng blood. So ngayon, kung saan yung pinaka-least ang blood supply, hindi nyo mag-perforate. So ellipsoidal infarct. So dito siya. So rupture of appendicitis. So bacterial disease similar to colon. So the bacteria cultured in case of appendicitis are therefore similar to those seen in other colonic infections such as diverticulitis, which is usually E. coli and bacterials. E. coli pa. So aerobic, anaerobic. So those are the most common. Tandaan na, E. coli, bacteroides. So doon kasi nagdidepende kung anong antibiotic yung bibigyan natin. So is routine culture needed in cases of appendicitis? So no, because the flora is already known. So E. coli, bacteroides, yun ang tatargetin natin. And usually broad-spectrum antibiotics can handle those. And by the time the culture results are available, the patient has recovered from the illness and already discharged. Kasi 72 hours pa lalabas yung culture. Nakauwi na pa siya naman. But it can be done, or it is requested and reserved for patients who are immunosuppressed and develop abscess after treatment of appendicitis. So yun lang dalawang reason to have a routine culture. Antibiotic prophylaxis, so prevention of post-operative wound infection and prevention of intra-abdominal abscess. So, antibiotic coverage for uncomplicated appendicitis is usually given 24 to 48 hours, and for complicated, 7 to 10 days. So, when do we start or shift the patient from intravenous antibiotics to oral antibiotics? So, provided you have these three criteria. Number one, your patient is afebrile for 24 hours. You requested for a complete blood count with normal WBC and can tolerate oral feeding. So, kung meron kayong tatlo na yan, pwede mo na siyang i-downgrade to oral antibiotics. So, for symptoms, abdominal pain is the primary symptom, and the classic presentation is this: diffusely centered abdominal pain in the lower epigastrium or periumbilical area, which lasts for about 4 to 6 hours, and gradually migrate or localize to the right lower part. So there will be variability in the presentation. So, but the most common is still persistent right lower quadrant pain. For the left lower quadrant area, the long appendix will dip in the lower quadrant, pwede dito yan. Flank or back pain in patients with retrocystal appendix. Suprapubic pain if you have a pelvic appendicitis. Testicular pain, retroileal appendix. And the visceral component is in the normal location of the appendix. Okay? So, usually, right over part. Symptoms. So, anorexia nearly always accompanies appendicitis. Vomiting occurs in 75% of cases, and others are constipation and diarrhea. So, anorexia, abdominal pain, vomiting. So, these are the classic symptoms. For uncomplicated, so vital signs, minimally changed, with changes of greater magnitude is usually found in patients with complicated acute appendicitis or other diagnoses. The patient usually prefer to lie supine with the thighs, particularly the right, drawn up because any motion increases the pain in the right lower quadrant. So the right lower quadrant tenderness often maximum at or near the McBurney's point. So where is the McBurney's point? So it is usually located when you draw an imaginary line from the anterior superior spine to the umbilicus and divide it by the 3. So the lower third is your McBurney's point. This is the point of maximum tenderness. So it can have voluntary muscle guarding or involuntary muscle guarding. It can have direct tenderness or indirect tenderness. So for Robsing sign, so this is the indirect tenderness. It is described as pain in the right lower quadrant when palpatory pressure is exerted in the lower quadrant. So indirect tenderness. Anatomic variations in the position of the inflamed appendix lead to deviation in the usual physical examination. For retrocecal appendix, lessen your abdominal wall, tenderness, or the flank. So ngayon, pag pinipindot mo yan sa right lower quadrant, hindi masyadong masakit. More on sa back pala yung masakit or flank. Your appendix should be located in the retrocecal area. For pelvic, abdominal findings may be entirely absent, and hence the diagnosis may be missed unless rectum is examined. Psoas side, irritative focus in proximity to the psoas muscle. So patient lying on the left side as the examiner slowly extends the patient's right thigh, thus is stretching the psoas muscle. So when is psoas sign positive? So extension produces pain. So patient on your left side, so extend mo ngayon si left lower extremity. Obturator sign, passive internal rotation of the flexed right thigh with the patient supine. Extension produces hypogastric. So lahat ba yung ginagawa? Psoas, obturator, no, na hindi naman. Dahil kasi kung mag-passive ka na sa isa, okay na yan. Hindi mo naman kailangan. Dahil kasi it denotes the location of the appendix. So, pag psoas side, ibig sabihin nasa ilalim yung appendix mo. No? Pero pag direct tenderness, floating lang si appendix dito. Hindi mo siya kailangan i-perform lang. Mas okay pa nga si Robson sign. Dahil kasi makita mo yung indirect tenderness, ay nagpo-float lang siya sa right lower quadrant. The surgery must be easy. Or the appendix will be readily identifiable or located. So, some laboratory findings will give you a hint on what stage of the appendix or appendicitis is your patient. So, for uncomplicated, there will be mild leukocytosis, 10,000 to 18,000 cells per cubic millimeter. So, with PMN abdominals. For complicated, yung mga ruptured appendicitis or gangrenous, more than 18,000 na yung count. So, pag nagpa-CBC ka ngayon, less than 18, so it should be uncomplicated. Urinalysis, to rule out urinary tract infection. So, sometimes, kapag malapit naman sa yung abscess mo, umabot sa may ureter, sometimes it seeps in and it gives some false urinalysis, increasing white blood cell count. Pero, depende, pang ang kapa, appendicitis pa din, hindi na mas operate on your patient. So, diagnosis of appendicitis is mainly clinical. So, you can diagnose appendicitis about 80% by history and physical examination alone. So, imaging studies, plain films of the abdomen, bihira ang ginagawa. Barium, bihira din. Rigid nuclear signs, no. Mas ginagawa pa ngayon is the ultrasound, no? Ultrasound of the right lower quadrant, and graded compression sonography is requested. So inexpensive, can be performed rapidly, does not require Waters medium, and can also be done in pregnant patients. So on ultrasound, so there will be a blind-ended non-peristaltic bowel loop originating from the sickle. So not compressible appendix, so less than more than 6 millimeters. So medyo wide ngayon ng appendix. So minsan nakakita din sila ng appendiculate. So pwede nilang i-diagnose as acute appendicitis by ultrasound. So sometimes it can be inconclusive when the appendix is not visualized, no pericecal fluid and no mass. But ultrasound can also exclude some gynecologic pathology. Pag nakita, the ovary is good, the right ovary is good, the fallopian tube, so no tubal pregnancy noted. And exclude genital urinary tract pathology. Pag tinignan mo din yung ureters or non-dilated ureters, okay na. Ultrasound sensitivity of about 55 to 96%, specificity of 85 to 98%. So it is user dependent. Ibig sabihin, depende sa ultrasound kung makikita nyo ngayon. There can also be false positive results in ultrasound, periappendicitis from surrounding inflammation, Dilated fallopian tube is taken for an appendix. Inspissated stool can mimic appendiculate. And obese patient, non-compressible appendix due to overlying fat. So hindi niya makompress yung appendix kasi masyadong makapal yung subcutaneous fat. So another false negative, appendicitis in the appendiceal tip, verticical, markedly enlarged normal appendix, and perforated, hence compressible. So perforated na pala, kaya pala siya nakakompress. Decreases negative appendectomy rate by 37 to 13%. Decreases time before operation. Ibig sabihin, yung iba kasi in-observe muna. Na-observe muna natin. Pero kung meron ka ng ultrasound, then diagnosed to have appendicitis, then can operate right away. So, routine ultrasound did not improve diagnostic accuracy or negative appendectomy rates or perforation compared with clinical assessment. So, clinical assessment pa rin ang the best. No? So, sabi nga natin, you can diagnose it by history and PE in 80% of the cases. Another imaging technique is high-resolution CT scan, wherein we can determine the dilated appendix with thickened walls, evidence of inflammatory or dirty fat. So thickened mesoappendix, phlegmon, ficalis, and the arrowhead sign. So medyo pa-arrow daw siya ng konti. Yeah, madami din siya inflammation. So sensitivity 92 to 97%, specificity of 85 to 94%. Okay? So lowered the rate of negative appendectomy from 19 to 12%, decreased negative appendectomies in women from 24 to 5%, and altered the care of 24% and provided alternative diagnosis of 50%. So for CT scan, it is expensive with radiation exposure, cannot be used in pregnant women, and IV contrast allergies, and also intolerable oral contrast ingestion. It is usually not done because we place our patients with suspected appendicitis and PO. So we have to have a rational use of imaging. No? So either we generally, in the Philippines, we have the guidelines from the Philippine College of Surgeons where in pediatric age with equivocal abdominal findings, we request for ultrasound. But in adults, we request for CT scan with contrast in adults. So sa kanila ganun din. No? Pag tinignan mo, equivocal presentation, pregnant patient. So hindi siya pwede CT. No? So, ultrasound. Also with pediatric age. So, sa pediatric age naman, kaya naman bihira yung CT scan, may radiation exposure, plus mahirap pag-stay ng bata sa to lie down still. Dahil kasi para hindi masyado magulo. Pag gumagalaw kasi habang yung CT scan ng patient, so nagiging blurry yung image. So, diagnosis, pwede din tayong mag-laparoscopy. So, silipin ho natin para makita natin kung naman mag-oriented. Kaya lang, it will be more costly, and then, nilagay mo na sa general anesthesia yung patient. But it can be useful in evaluation of females, obese patients, and uncertain diagnosis or equivocal abdomen. Appendiceal ruptures. Overall rate of perforated appendicitis is around 25.8%. Highest among less than 5 years old and more than 65 years old. Bakit? Kasi pag less than 5 years old, they cannot possibly explain the abdominal pain at the onset. And also, usually ang presentation na nila, fever na lang yung isang abdominal pain, tapos ruptured na pala. Sa elderly naman, more than 65 years old, the inflammatory process is rather different or delayed. Kaya minsan ruptured na sila bago natin sila makita. And also the fact that that's hindi yun yung unang inisip natin sa abdominal pain in elderly patients. Kasi sabi nga natin, less chance na magkaroon ng appendicitis in the elderly. Pag elderly, more common tumor na yan, usually. So, ang main cause is delays in the presentation of diagnosis. So, appendicial rupture, sabi nga natin, magkakaroon siya ng, ang most common cause is the anti-mesenteric border dahil kasi doon daw yung least perfused area ng appendix. So, usually, clinical presentation, the patient is febrile around 39 degrees centigrade with white blood cell count of more than 18,000 per cubic millimeter and progression of clinical signs. So, appendicial rupture can be categorized as localized, ibig sabihin nandun lang sa area, or generalized if your patient having generalized peritonitis. Flag bone formation, so happens in 2 to 6%. It presents as ill-defined mass on physical examination. Flag bone, ibig sabihin na balutan na yung ruptured appendix na omentum or some inflammatory tissues. Dahil kasi kino-cover na yung omentum kasi lumalabas nga yung infection, yung pus and all the inflammatory cells. Okay? So, matted loops of bowel adherent to adjacent to the appendix, periappendiceal abscess. Usually happens around 5 to 7 days of signs and symptoms without surgical or medical management. So CT scan may be necessary in guiding the treatment of this patient, but it is mainly surgical. Leg one small abscesses, conservative with IV antibiotics. So this is very controversial. Dahil kasi sabi natin, kapag appendicitis, we usually do source control. No? Source control. So, remove the diseased organ and then give antibiotics. For a well-localized abscess, percutaneous drainage. For complex abscess, surgical drainage. Then you can do internal appendectomy after 6 weeks. Pag medyo nag-subside na yung inflammation, you can operate on your patient. Pero initially, ganun. For differential diagnosis, so what is the negative appendectomy rate? Usually it is pegged at 20%. So pag sumakit yung tiyan mo, diniagnose ka ni surgeon, you have acute appendicitis. So chances are, in 80% of the time, that is correct. Yung 20%, yun yung negative appendectomy rate. Kaya lang sabi ka kasi, this was the statistics before, because dami fido. So, sumasakit yun siya. Hindi appendicitis yan. But it turned out to be acute appendicitis, your patient died of sepsis. So, because you did not do surgery. So, pero pag inopera mo naman, hindi naman siya appendicitis. Pero kailangan siguro within the boundaries ng 20% ng appendectomy rate. That's the acceptable value. But with the advent of modern imaging like ultrasound and CT scan, yung 20% na yan, bumaba na ngayon siya, no? About 9% na lang, 9%. So, sumasakit yung tiyan mo, hindi appendicitis pero ipa-CT scan natin. So, turn out to be appendicitis, then we operate. So, ganun siya. Ito, yumaman mo yung dalawang surgeon na to. So, unnecessary surgery has been good to us, Ferguson. So, ibig sabihin, pag sumakit yung tiyan mo, operahan ka na natin kagad. Kita na kagad yun. No? So, that's bad. That's bad. So, the treatment, early operative intervention. So, we must do or prepare a patient with adequate hydration, correction of electrolyte abnormalities, and correction of pre-existing comorbidities. Use of operative antibiotics is needed. So, alam naman natin yung flora, kaya kaya natin bibigyan ng antibiotics. So, appendectomy, open or laparoscopic. So right now, wala pang gold standard. Either we do open or laparoscopic. Unlike in gallbladder surgery, we have the gold standard right now, which is laparoscopic gold standard. Dito naman, in our clinical practice, we let the patient decide on which procedure they want. Pero me personally, kapag nakita ko na ruptured appendicitis, I will definitely convince my patient to undergo laparoscopy to avoid the very large incision. A very large incision to wash all of the abdominal cavity. Lalo na yung medyo young female na gusto pang magtupi sa Boracay this coming summer. So, para naman ang pangit naman kung meron kang very large incision. So, minimally invasive is the way to go. So, nawawash off din lahat ng mga debris, lahat ng fecal material. Kaya lang it takes longer, but the cosmetic appearance is better. And also the recovery time is also faster because of very small incisions that is not usually that painful as compared with larger incision. So itong picture makita nyo, so this is the appendix, so this is the appendiceal base. So okay. Hanggang dito siya. Anyway, ito lang yung sinabi ko ngayon. Basahin nyo na. Same. So, antibiotic as definitive therapy. Meron kasi gumawa, European study na non-operative management of acute appendicitis provided there is no fecalit. Minsan daw kasi naging-infect si appendicitis even though there is no fecalit. So, it can be managed medically. Pero pag meron fecalit, definitely we will do surgery. Interval appendectomy. Ito naman yung sinabi kanina, yung mga may phlegmon daw. Yung iba ayaw nilang operahin dahil kasi it will entail some degree of sepsis. Lahat yan i-correcting muna before undergoing. So ginagawa nila, they treat the patients with antibiotics and then drain the abscess and do interval appendectomy. Sabihin, they operate at a later date, usually 6 weeks, 6 to 10 weeks later. Kaya lang, mayroon naman daw major argument. So, more than 50% initial conservative treatment never develop manifestation of appendicitis. Ba't pa operahan? Di ba? Kaya nga, it is tailor-made for every patient and how you convince your patient to undergo or not to undergo surgery. Kaya lang, pag tinanong ka, Doc, sigurado ko bang hindi na uulit ito? Hindi na ako magkakaroon. So, nobody really can tell. So, sa Philippines, the treatment of appendicitis is still surgery. So, prognosis, mortality rate, 0.2 per 100,000 appendectomies, with 1% with rupture in general, 5% with rupture in elderly. So, mas maganda na ngayon ang average, unlike before. Noong 1960s, pag sumabog yung appendix mo, patay ka na. No? So, right now, so we have better techniques, better monitoring of our patients, better antibiotic coverage, and essentially, good healthcare. So, the principal factors for morbidity, mortality is your degree of perforation and peritonitis, and also the age. So, the very young and the very old are more vulnerable. So, death due to uncontrolled sepsis, peritonitis, intra-abdominal abscess, and gram-negative septicemia. Also, some pulmonary embolism. Ngayon, nakakarinig pa rin ako ng mga kwento na may namatay pa rin na ruptured appendicitis. So, very delayed management. So, septicemia, yun yung nangyari. And then, when they operate, it's rather too late. It's rather unfortunate for those individuals kasi napaka-treatable nito. So morbidity, parallel mortality rate, significantly higher with ruptured appendicitis and old age. So surgical site infection is the most common dahil kasi doon din lumalabas naman kasi yung diseased appendix sa incision site. And then, development of intra-abdominal abscess pag incomplete ang washing ng purulent material, so they develop. And also, antibiotic coverage is very important. So, fascial dehiscence and hernia in big body wide, yung mga matataba talaga with comorbidities of diabetes, na dyan, magkasama-sama. Fecal fistula in blowout stump and obstruction in postoperative patients and prolonged ileus with abscess formation. Incidental appendectomy. Okay, so ito naman yung incidental appendectomy. Ibig sabihin, you will be operated for another procedure. Pero nakita yung appendix mo tinanggalan. So, dito sa Philippines, uso-uso din ito, yung mga nasisasagin ng mga females. So, nakakusap na nila yung OB nila. Siesta sila eh. No? So, pag nakita niyo po yung appendix, pwede pakitanggal na lang din. Pwede naman, provided na huwag ilang magkakaroon ng complication. Remember, dahil kasi iba yung normal flora ng uterus, iba yung normal flora ng GI, no? The appendix. Miski hindi siya inflamed, mayroong resident bacteria, which is the Bacteroides and E. coli, pwede pa contaminate. No? Kaya kung sakasakali, you must be careful not to have those complications. But it's okay. Iba kasi sinasabay pa yung gallbladder surgery, lapcole. Dok, pwede yung sabay ng appendix. Kaya dito sa EB, hindi pwede. Nag-o-audit kasi kami dito, o-audit ka. Okay. In colon surgery, yun, meron ng study na pag merong gallbladder stone, mataas yung chance na magkaroon ng cholecystitis. So, pwede na isabay. Anyway, kung hindi naman, sabi nga if it's not broken, why fix it? So, 310,000 incidental appendectomies, 36 incidental appendectomy had to be performed to prevent 1% from developing acute appendicitis. So, hindi siya hindi siya proportion, kaya hindi nila ina-advocate talaga. So, 20 million had to be spent to save 6 million cost of appendicitis. So, about 1/3. Not cost effective in any issue. But here are some indication on when to do incidental appendectomy. So, children about to undergo chemotherapy. Disabled who cannot describe symptoms to react normally to abdominal pain. Crohn's disease in whom sickle is free of microscopic disease. Pero, kasi free pa siya, Pero eventually kasi pag naapektuhan na siya, mahihirap. Hindi mo na siya pwedeng operan. And travels to remote places. Just like with gallbladder stones, if you travel, meron ka, punta ka sa malalayang lugar na walang medical facilities. You might be encouraged to undergo removal of the gallbladder. Same with appendicitis. But it depends with the age. Meron naman age. Pero if you're past the 4th decade of life, chances of appendicitis is on the downward trend. Acute appendicitis in the young. So difficult to diagnose because inability of the young children to give an accurate history, diagnostic delays by both parents and physicians, frequency of GI abscess in children. Physical examination with high sensitivity for maximal tenderness in the right lower quadrant. So usually it's a challenge for us surgeons to accept referrals from pediatric colleagues. Referred for evaluation of abdominal pain. So, ako pag nakita pala ako ng bata, umiiyak na agad. Anyway, may mga ganun talaga eh. So, kailangan, pag in-examine mo din sila, their most comfortable position, yung hindi sila umiiyak. Dahil kasi pag umiiyak yun, hindi mo siya ma-determine. Ang maganda pa habang natutulog talaga, if you palpated for an involuntary chording in the right lower quadrant, that most probably tell us that's appendicitis. Pag ganun, siyempre pag pinindot mo pa, di lalo masakit na yan, di ba? But, yun nga, may mga, para mas tumaas yung chance ng accuracy of diagnosis, we can request for abdominal ultrasound. Dahil kasi tatanungin ka naman ng magulang. Doc, 100% check po ba kayo na appendicitis talaga? No, only 80%. Medyo tataas lang ng konti yung percentage natin if we do some imaging techniques. For children, the recommendation is ultrasound. So, we do ultrasound. So, rapid progression to rupture and develop greater momentum to cover the appendix. So, less than 5 years old, negative appendectomy rate, 25%. Perforation rate, 45%. Kasi hindi kagad na opera. 5 to 12, negative appendectomy rate, mababa na ngayon dahil kasi we are more sure dahil kasi mas nakakausap natin yung pasyente, and perforation rate also goes down dahil kasi mas nadadiagnose na natin sila. So, wound infection, 2.8, in non-ruptured and ruptured, so ruptured mas mataas pa rin. Presence of intra-abdominal abscess, mas mataas pa rin sa rupture, of course. So, treatment, immediate appendectomy, either open or laparoscopic. So, either or. So, appendicitis in the elderly, because of the age, so there will be atypical in presentation, expanded differential diagnosis. Sabi nga natin, ang initial iisip natin pag elderly is most probably colon in pathology or other diseases. Last na yung appendicitis. So, in general preparation ng elderly is around 20% ang perforation. Dali lang. Iwasan mo tayo. So, age correlates with morbidity and also other comorbidities such as hypertension, diabetes, renal problems, and others. Acute appendicitis in the pregnant women. So the location of the appendix differs by the age of gestation. So usually, pag-aralan naman natin sa UB, kapag 20 weeks na, di ba, nasa ang dome ng uterus to, nasa umbilicus na yun. So, tingnan natin. So, 4 months, natutulak na niya talaga yung appendix. Hanggang dito na siya yung dome ng uterus sa 20 weeks, di ba? Which is at the half of the pregnancy. So, of course, an ultrasound will be helpful in locating. So, ganyan yan kapag pre-ilial ang location. Pero kung retrocecal ka, baka naiwan din siya dito sa ilalim. So, ultrasound pa rin. So, 1 in 766 births can happen in any trimester. Negative appendectomy rate 25%. Highest in the second trimester, lowest in the third trimester. Malas naman, buntis na nito 20 cm. So, new onset of abdominal pain in pregnant women, right side of the abdomen, classic presentation in 57% of the time. So, physiologic leukocytosis pregnancy. So, hindi mo ngayon ma-determine. So, ano ba to? More than 18,000, ruptured na ba to o hindi pa? Kasi meron pang physiologic leukocytosis. So, when the diagnosis is in doubt, perform ultrasound. So, incidence of fetal loss, 40%. Can be more high in patients with complicated or ruptured appendicitis. The risk of early delivery, 7%, and maternal mortality, 0.03%. So, pag mag-o-opera tayo ng ganito, it should be co-managed with the OB. So, for tocolysis, binibigyan niya ng pampa-relax ng uterus para huwag mag-contract. So, appendiceal tumors, diagnosed in 0.9 to 1.4% of appendectomy specimen. 0.12 cases in 1 million people. So, it is rarely diagnosed perioperatively. So, kadalasan, internal findings na lang siya. Fewer than 50% are diagnosed at operation. So, the carcinoid tumor is the most common tumor of the appendicitis, which accounts for more than 50%, followed by growth and survival. So, best prognosis pa rin, carcinoid tumor with 83% survival in 5 years. And signet ring, which is the least common, 4%, only 18% will survive in 5 years. So, carcinoid tumors are firm yellow bulbar mass in the appendix. So, appendix, mga bowel like to. Yan yung the decreasing incidence of carcinoid tumors. So, appendix, small bowel, so carcinoid syndrome are rare unless with widespread metastasis. And majority are located at the tip of the appendix. Malignant potential are related to size. Mean tumor size is 2.5 centimeters. So usually present as localized disease in 64%. So appendectomy, less than 1 cm. Right hemicolectomy located at the base with lymph node metastasis and sizes of more than 2 cm. So, sa Schwartz, ito yung sinasabi ko. So, if your carcinoid, appendiceal carcinoid is less than 1 centimeter, located at the tip, or anywhere, so appendectomy should suffice. Okay? Appendectomy. But if your appendiceal carcinoid is more than 1 centimeter, but less than 2 centimeter, located at the tip or mesoappendix, appendectomy lang, okay na. Kapag location sa base naman, mesoappendicial invasion or metastasis, you perform right hemicolectomy. Ibig sabihin, you will perform right hemicolectomy, the right side of transverse colon, ascending colon, the cecum, and the terminal, yung tanggal lahat yun. So, right hemicolectomy. This is a major operation. Kaya yung sumakit lang yung tiyan mo, kala mo appendicitis lang, maliit lang ang hiwa mo. Pag gising mo, ganun na siya kalaki. No? Anyway, we perform these surgeries or additional surgeries with consent. No? So, pag nakita namin that intraoperatively, carcinoid tumor located at the base of the appendix, more than 2 centimeters. So, siyempre, naka-general anesthesia yung pasyente mo or pwedeng sabihin mo regional anesthesia, kaya lang with sedation. The patient cannot give his or her consent during that time. So you have to go out, look for the nearest kin. So yung relative na kasama. Kung hindi siya makapag-decide, just stop the procedure then re-operate on the next day. Do not do the procedure on your own volition. Kailangan palagi may consent. Pwede yung kayo demand pag walang consent. Okay? Always secure for a consent for every procedure. So, dito wala nang question. Kapag more than 2 cm yung carcinoid tumor mo, right hemicolectomy. Paano ka naman nakakasiguro na carcinoid tumor talaga yan? Bulbar, sabi ng Dr. Trinidad, yellowish bulbar. Ito na. No, you must send this for at least frozen section of the histopad. Histopad. Para makasiguro. Dahil kasi baka naman, ni-right hemicolectomy, hindi naman pala siya carcinoid. So, that's a wrong surgery. adenocarcinoma. So sabi natin, most common is carcinate tumor. So this is the second most common. So presentation, usually acute appendicitis then. So management. So right hemicolectomy. So nandun yung adenocarcinoma sa loob ng sicum. So ito yung appendix. Okay. So ito yung sinasabi natin, right hemicolectomy. Okay. So you will resect the right side of the transverse colon, ascending colon, cecum, appendix, and terminal ileum. So ganyan ka-massive yung right hemicolectomy in the treatment of carcinoid tumor. This is a cancer surgery. I think that's about it. Do you have any questions? If none, you're excused. Thank you.